Hi, Mrs. B here. Let's review for the Chapter 3 test. Remember that you want to pause the video and try the problems, and then you want to play the video to check your answers with mine. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's simplify some expressions. So for the first one, we're going to distribute first. So we have 8x plus negative 36 plus 2. Next thing we do is combine our like terms, which is our constants. Negative 36 and positive 2 would add up to negative 34. So our final answer is 8x minus 34. Okay, next up, let's rewrite as addition. Let's put the 1 in to remind us. We have negative 1y plus negative 4y plus negative 4 plus 3y. Let's combine our like terms, all our y terms. We have 3 of them. Negative 1 and negative 4 is negative 5y, and then we add that to 3y. We have negative 2y. And then we only have one constant, so that stays the same. Try to rewrite it as subtraction. Okay, now we're going to find the sum. So we're just going to distribute first and rewrite as addition. So we have 2c plus 6 plus, we have 3 times c is 3c, and 3 times 8 is 24. So let's combine our like terms. We have 2c and 3c is 5c, 6 and 24 is 30. Finding the difference, remember we're subtracting the entire second expression from the first, so circling it is a good idea. Our first expression, we have 1n plus 9. We're adding the opposite of the second expression, so that is negative 2 plus 2n. Let's combine our like terms. 2n and 1n, we have 3n. 9 and negative 2 is 7. So that's our final answer. Okay, I'm reminding you that you can always check any of these answers by plugging 1 is a good number. You can pick any number you want to. Here is the last one, plugging 1 in. So the original expression, when I put 1 in for n, I got 10 as my answer. And my new answer, 3n plus 7, I put 1 in and I got 10. So I know I've done it correctly. Okay, let's practice doing some simplifying and evaluating. For this expression, we know the weeks is 15. So we're going to plug in a 15 for W. So we have 15 plus 8 times, 25 plus 8 times 15. In the order of operations, we multiply first. 8 times 15 is 120. So we have 25 plus 120 to get to the total amount saved. Don't forget to put the money sign, the real life problem. Okay, for finding the perimeter of this polygon, we have to add up all the side lengths. So I'm showing you that vertically is a good idea in this case because we have so many x's and so many constants. You can really line them up that way with the vertical method to get to your final answer. Okay, we're combining your expression and your friends. So that would look like this. And then we would just add our like terms. So let's add our d's together to get 16d, add our constants together to get 17. And that's your final answer. Okay, for this category, we have to write the equation, then we also have to solve it. So I'm showing you that I wrote the equation for 5 less than a number. We have to remember that the order matters for subtraction, so that would be the correct order. And I started solving it by adding 5 to each side. So now what I have here is n on the left, and on the right I have negative 1 plus 5, which is 4. I can plug 4 into my equation to check my answer. Okay, for the next one, more than means to add. So we're going to add 19 to C and get 4 as an answer. So let's take 19 away from both sides. So we have C on the left, and now we have 4 plus negative 19, which would be negative 15. In our next one, we have a number divided by negative 4. So again, order is important. That means that our number is on top, and we're dividing by negative 4 to get negative 13. So first thing you want to do is the inverse operation, which is multiply each side by negative 4. So negative 13 times negative 4 is 52. That would be your final answer. How are we doing so far? Okay, let's do some straight out solving equations. Remember, you can always check your answer by putting it back into the equation so you know if you're right or wrong. So the first one, the inverse would be to subtract 6.1 from both sides. So now I have a negative plus another negative. So altogether I have negative 22.4. That's my final answer. For the next one, I have to multiply each side of the equation by the reciprocal of negative 1/3, which is negative 3 over 1. So all I have to do to solve it is 5 times negative 3, which is negative 15. Okay, my next one, I have to subtract 3/5 from both sides. So I'm going to write it as 6/10, negative 6/10, so that I have common denominator. So now I can do 9/10 minus 6/10 to get my answer of 3/10. The next one is a two-step problem. First, we're going to subtract 7 from both sides. So now our new equation is 5v equals 30. And then lastly, we're going to divide each side by 5 to get to our final answer, which is v equals 6. Okay, let's look at this word problem with temperature. So the temperature went down 184.3 from what it was and ended up at negative 109. So we don't know what it started as, so that's our x. So our x minus that change gave us that final answer of negative 109.6. So we're going to add 104.3 to both sides of the equation to get x by itself. And I'm showing my work over here that I'm adding a positive to a negative. So let's put our larger number first and subtract. Take the sign of the higher number, which is our 184.3, which is positive. So our final answer would be 74.7 degrees. Okay, let's find the perimeter of this parallelogram. I'm going to label my sides first. Opposite sides are the same length. So we would have a 4m and an m. So let's add them up to get our total perimeter. We have 1m, 1m, 4m, and 4m. So we have 10m, and they tell us the perimeter is 30. Oops. So divide by 10, we know that m is equal to 3. And don't forget to label the units. It's meters in this case. Okay, so that is the value of m. Okay, so let's see how many newspapers you have to sell. Looks to me like a lot, right? So when we're writing our equation, we would be multiplying that newspaper by how many we want to buy to get to our total goal of $92.92. So we have to divide each side by 0.46. Yes, decimal division. Just be careful. There is a 0 in there, because when you get to that 9, you cannot divide it by 46, so you put a 0 over it. So our final answer is 202 papers. The last one is a two-step problem. We have a one-time deal of renting the shoes, and then we can do as many games as we can afford for $14.75. So it would go together this way. First thing I did was subtract the shoe rental from both sides. Now I have $12 left to get games, so I would divide by 6 to find out that I would do 2 games. Okay, hope you did a good job at your review, and if you want to answer the bonus question on the test, you would make a pi symbol, and that's the math pi symbol, okay? But it does stand for the Thanksgiving pie. All right, thanks everybody, have a great day.